Morning, everyone. Psalm 91 says in the NLT version, "Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty." This is a psalm of David, or it could be a psalm of Moses. We don't know, but I guess what they're trying to say, what the psalmist is trying to say, is exactly what we're trying to do with these devotions. He's wanting to encourage his readers. We want to encourage you, our listeners, to devote yourselves to the Lord. How does he suggest that we do that? Firstly, he talks about living in the shelter. In the New King James Version, it uses the word dwell, which is a better description for us, because David's talking about spending time with God, and the Hebrew word that he uses is about spending deliberate and intentional time with God. It's about habitating or making your home within the presence of God. And we all know what it's like to spend time in our own homes at the moment. But are we using the time that we have now to spend with God, or are we doing other things? And then David talks about a shelter. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High. Again, the New King James Version uses a different word called the secret place, which again better describes what David or Moses or whoever is getting at. That place of prayer he's talking about is meant to be a secret place, or a hiding place. In other words, it needs to be a place without distraction, a place where you can be undisturbed and free to focus your heart and mind on the presence of God. How difficult is it right now to find that place when we're surrounded by other people all the time, whether it's physically or virtually through social media or the TV and technology? And lastly, David talks about resting in the shadow of the Almighty. And of course the latter is totally dependent on the former. You will not find rest if you don't find time to dwell in God's presence. It's as simple as that. So, if you're struggling to find rest, if your soul is in turmoil, if your body is restless, if your mind is constantly racing, make sure you spend some time with God today. You don't have to run through a list of people to pray for, or read through massive portions of the Bible. This is not about what you're doing, it's about who you are becoming. And we just need to find that place free from distraction and be still and know that He is God. Do it today. Find that place in your own home where you're free from distraction, so that you can be in the presence of God and you can rest in the shadow of Almighty God, your protector, your healer, the one who restores your soul. So let me just encourage you and pray for you now. Lord, be with every person watching this right now. Lord, I pray that you'd help them to find that place of that distraction-free place where they can just be with you. It's not about what they're doing, it's about who that they're becoming as they reflect and spend time in your presence, that they would become like you. Thank you, God. We love you. We worship you. Amen. Have a good day.